start.
It's a sandbox. It's a soapbox. It's Bandbox. Welcome to the Real Study with your hosts, Mr. Snitbits.
Because I do think the movie is good. I think the lighting is struggles. I think the cinematography is okay.
Black Girl Marvel.
Follow us on everything, because we will find you.
All the movie things.
So many young filmmakers and indie filmmakers took it and just went with it, and it became this thing.
Janine DeBean.
So that's what the story is, and then the film goes about answering that question for you.
And me, the Real Study movie voice guy.
I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to try it.
Produced by Hyena. Let's go to the poster wall.
Hello and welcome to The Real Study. I am Mr. Snippets, and with me, as always, is Black Girl Marvel. We've got Janine the Bean, and then to my left is going to be All the Movie Things. And we are here to celebrate week 3 of Black History Month, and we are doing this for the whole month. Today is 2 romantic comedies. We've got Boomerang, starring Eddie Murphy from 1992, and then Something New from 2006. And of course, we will get into those here in just a few minutes. Next week is going to be The Sixth Man and BAPS, if you will, or Black American Princesses, I believe is what that stands for. We will get into both of those. Before we do that, we're going to move over to the main wall, say hello to everybody, and talk about social media. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Good.
I'm just eating because I haven't eaten all day, so I do apologize, but I'm starving.
We want you satiated. We need you up and running. So that's good. All right. So tell us about social media, and then we can get into it. You got lots of stuff.
All right, y'all. So listen up. Y'all know the drill, okay? We are here to bring joy and entertainment, and all we ask is that you subscribe, throw us a follow, comment below, either watch us live and or watch us in playback if you're busy. But if you're like, yo, I do want to listen to them, I just can't watch them, we are available on all podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, Anchor, Podcast Republic. We're on all of these, okay? And if you're watching this live, you can see all of our social medias at the bottom. If you want to see any movies that we've reacted to already, or maybe rated is what I was trying to say. Rated is what I want to say. You can go in our letterbox and see what we have rated. If you have an idea of a movie that you want to have us rate, make sure you go in there so no movies collide, Right. We also got, we're getting into the documentaries a little bit. We're getting into the TV shows, kind of, 13 episodes or less. We ain't trying to do series like that, But make sure you follow us all on social media separately and together, and make sure you tune in. And we appreciate anybody that's here and anybody that's watching us in playback. Back to you, Absolutely. Mr. Snippets.
No, I do want to plug Janine's 2 podcasts as well.
Again.
No, that's okay. We've got Morgan Hasn't Seen is one of her podcasts, and then of course It's a Wonderful Podcast. Yes. Please go check out both of those. There's actually 2 versions of Morgan Hasn't Seen. They do a TV show version and a movie version. And what are you guys still doing? Dawson's Creek? Or yes, you guys did Peacemaker for a little while?
We stopped, so we're going to be going back to Dawson's Creek, and next Monday, I believe, we're going to be talking the final episode of season 4, which is going to be a tough one because on my rewatch of it, I realized it's a lot of goodbye to the Dawson character going off to college. So yeah, it was a rough watch, but
and then it becomes Joey's Creek after that. You guys,
Joey's College Creek.
Yeah, that's what it becomes. We get a little Busy Phillips, a little Chad Michael Murray.
Yeah. So I think we're going to take a break before season 5 and start talking Welcome to Derry. So
nice.
I'm anxious to hear what you guys think about that. What did Morgan end up liking season 2 of Peacemaker?
Yeah, he really enjoyed it. I think he had the same issues as most people had with the finale in terms of kind of, setting up some really cool things and not really developing them more, and maybe wishing there were a couple more episodes. But overall, he really enjoyed it. So
awesome. Yeah, I'm still trying to get Batsy to finish that because she really enjoyed season 1 more than she thought she would. Because it's not the kind of show you're like, let me go check out this third-rate character. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But that was terrible in a movie.
That was awful. You didn't care about him. You actually were like,
caring about him.
He got shot.
Yeah, I know.
But they essentially redeemed him from the Suicide Squad, right? Like they tried to at least, right? Like in his series.
He grows as a character tremendously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really grow to love
Too
him.
bad
it's
he
worth the
couldn't
journey.
grow before he killed Rick Flag, but sorry,
I know.
spoiler
Okay, I
alert.
don't want to spoil it, but that's actually pivotal to the entire series.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
It's a huge
That
thing,
hinges on
huge
almost everything.
Cool.
Like, it's
I can't
worth
wait to watch
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah, I know you're gonna like it. I'm really anxious for you to see it. All right, so we do have, of course, the Reel Roundup that we're gonna do, but we do have news, and since we did already mention Dawson's Creek, we of course need to get to what did happen this week. Here's the news.
Now it's time for the real news.
And because 2026 wants to kick us in the nuts over and over again, we lost yet another great celebrity. James Van Der Beek passed at 48 years old, younger than me, from cancer. And it has been a rough week for fans, for people, for his family, more so than anybody else. But before we get into it, because I do want to hear what you guys have to say and what you're feeling, but it looks like everybody went nuts and really tried to help his family out. They did a GoFundMe and they got $2.5 million or near that, which is almost $1 million more than they were planning. And then you've got celebrities like crazy coming out, like Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
You got Zoe Saldana coming out and saying that she was donating like $2,000 a month or something for some period of time. Like really a heartfelt outpouring for him and his family. So I know him from like Varsity Blues, and then obviously he shows up in some in a Kevin Smith movie and a few things. So like, those are my things. But I know that there's millennials on this panel, so I definitely want to hear.
I guess he was pretty good in the Bee in Apartment 23.
Absolutely.
Oh,
He was
really?
amazing.
He was playing. He was
He
playing
plays
himself.
He played James Van Der Beek.
Like a very heightened,
Oh, okay.
a very heightened version.
Very
of himself.
satirical,
It was so good.
heightened version.
Yeah.
Also, like a massive talent version of himself, like
And kind of an asshole. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
It was like Matt LeBlanc in episodes. He was like playing himself, but to a very
But to a different level. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Which was a good show as well. Janine, I know you literally have a show that you've been doing, and one of the shows you've been watching on that show has been, Dawson's Creek, as we just mentioned. So I want to hear what are your thoughts? How are you feeling?
Yeah, this was a really rough one for me. I cite Dawson's Creek as my all-time favorite television show. I knew who James Van Der Beek was before Dawson's Creek because I saw him on his first ever thing he ever did was an episode of Clarissa Explains It All, which I watched religiously. And I remember him because I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. and and then he was in this movie Angus where he was the bully, the villain bully in it. And so then when I saw this preview for this show called Dawson's Creek, it stars the kid from Mighty Ducks, so cute. It stars this guy from Angus, so cute. Oh my gosh,
so cute. I love that.
Yes, I even wrote about it in my diary. Like,
oh, that is awesome.
Yeah,
that is so cool. I love that.
Yeah, so I mean, I had a poster of this man on my wall.
Oh man.
And what I loved about him as well was kind of post Dawson's Creek, him always being in on the joke of the show and the character, like his fun little cameo in Scary Movie. Don't Trust Me in Apartment 23.
James Silent Bob Strike Back, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just so
series,
talented. He seemed to be known as a really kind person. It really got to me when I saw that donation from Steven Spielberg, because anyone who watches Dawson's Creek knows the character of Dawson. His favorite director was Steven Spielberg.
Love
Spielberg. So it was a very kind of
full circle.
Yeah. So this was a rough one, but it was really beautiful to see all the people, saying the kind things they said about him and the outpouring of love for him. It was really lovely to see. So, but this was a rough one for me.
Lala?
I love James Van Der Beek. I grew up watching Dawson's. He wasn't my man. Okay, Pacey was my man, but okay. There is a quality to his acting that I've always appreciated. There's a sincerity and honesty, a truth to his acting that I've always enjoyed. Like I used to get so angry at Dawson, and that's because of how James Van Der Beek
played him.
Like,
I had arc with him. Yeah.
Yes, and I used to get so upset, but it made me love James Van Der Beek, even though I was like, okay, Dawson, you get on my last nerve. But it made me love James Van Der Beek because of being an actor. Like it was like going to class every time I watched Dawson's Creek or anything, anything that I've watched. So it was just it's. Like I told you guys in the group chat, like that it's really sucky that this has happened to him, because I just don't feel like we got everything. It feels like Chadwick to me in a way where it's just like we didn't we didn't get enough. We
Yeah.
didn't get, we didn't. I still don't feel like we touched the surface of what Chadwick could do, and I feel the same thing
Yeah, and it's the
about
same
James
type of
Vanderbeek.
cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same type of
Yeah.
cancer,
That's right.
and so
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
like, and they both kind of battled quietly and silently, and like tried to be with their families, and still did some work
Which
in
I
the midst
get.
of
I
it.
mean,
So it's just like,
Yeah,
it,
yes.
it,
And I know two people who survived from this, so I was really hoping
no,
Wow.
that,
absolutely, that he
there
pulled
was some
through.
kind
This
of
is like
turnaround that he
possible.
could pull through.
Yeah, I even had somebody text me like, James Vanderbeek died. Like they knew, like they texted me immediately, and I was just
And
like,
my
I
friends too,
know.
they're like, "Are you okay?" They're like,
Oh my
literally,
Yes,
they
like
God.
they
knew.
texted me
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
immediately,
man.
and
Like I
so
immediately
this
thought
one
of you when I saw this.
hit
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
this one
Yeah.
hit it,
Yeah.
and just
That's crazy.
a lot of love to his family. Shout out to
Yeah.
everybody that donated. Like Janine brought up, the Spielberg thing really hit me because of the connection to Dawson's Creek. And it wouldn't surprise me if James Vanderbeek already had his own love for Spielberg, because so many of us do.
Mhm.
That
Yeah,
actors,
we all
or
grew up with him.
actors,
Right.
or anything
Yeah.
like that. Like he just kind of like he's in your orbit in some way. So
Yeah.
the fact that he has like blessed like his family as James has blessed us with his craft. I just see it as something that's just full circle, and it really sucks. I really wanted him to pull through because I think he could have been a
Yeah.
extraordinary, like he could do the drama, but I think he would have been an extraordinary comedic actor if given like the right
Yeah.
projects and things like that. So
Yeah.
I
Because you
guess
saw
this
hints of
is
that.
Yeah, and I guess he has
Right.
a recurring part on the new Legally Blonde or Al Wood show, I think.
Mhm.
So he did a couple of episodes on that. So we'll
Okay.
see him in that when that comes out. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
that's gonna hurt a
Yeah.
little bit, but I'm gonna be
Yeah.
excited. to
That's
at
always
least-
the hard part, right?
Yeah.
Is those extras bits that we get after
The
the
last
fact.
bit of
Yeah.
Yeah, where you're like, oh, like with Heath when Heath died and we all saw Dark Knight, we were like, damn, and then there were still like
Heath
three
hurt me
things
in a way
after
too,
that.
yeah.
Like,
That was
you had that imaginary of Dr. Parnassus.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Last
and the
time.
actors who came through to finish the
Yeah.
role for
Right.
him and donated all
Yeah.
his salary to his
This was
daughter.
daughter.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
totally changed the film, but in a really good way. And
But it worked. It still kind of
Absolutely.
worked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it was a weird movie. So it's like,
yeah, it totally
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, straightforward flick.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have worked. You're
yeah,
like, wait,
no,
well,
totally.
Yeah.
what? Who are you? What? Especially if nobody
Yeah.
recognized it. That would have been even weirder.
Right.
Brian, I know you and I are kind of more in the same boat. We have, some movies we've seen him in. I just remembered
Yeah.
Rules of Attraction, where he, of course, plays the brother of the character from American Psycho. He plays one of the Batemans, so it's kind of an interesting connection with the same writer. But I just wanted to hear if you had any thoughts.
Yeah, it was oddly enough, like, because I don't have like the crazy connection to Dawson's Creek and whatnot. But still, it was like I was pretty floored when I saw this, because
Right.
he's been like on social media, kind of like, you kind of seen him over time, physically transform and with his face and his body and just being open to the public and his fans and like really like kind of reconnecting with things and him being kind of on the spiritual journey, and so yeah, it was like really kind of like the biggest thing for me was like Varsity Blues. Was like, and like I remember like for me I was in the Navy when I first saw that. I was like, I knew exactly where I was when I saw it. I was in Pensacola, and we went, and a bunch of us went to the base theater to see this football movie, with him in it. So like,
Yeah.
I didn't really know him from Dawson's Creek, and so it was still like, and I mean that's one of my favorite like sports movies, but
Right.
Yeah.
It's a solid sports movie.
It was still.
You don't see a lot of high school sports movies. It's usually
An MTV movie,
Pros.
early MTV.
Right, yeah, and that was like a big
Yeah.
deal for them too, like at the
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Like, it was a big
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, it was still a pretty, I was pretty floored when this news came out. I was like, man, like
definitely.
thought he was gonna like make it,
Well, especially at 48, you think,
I know.
that's so damn young. And I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that's weird to say that as someone who's
it is.
48 because it doesn't
I mean,
feel
I'm
young.
45, gonna be 46 here. It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
But that's only halfway through in a lot of ways.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
that's not enough. I saw a lot of people posting this. It was kind of really depressing to know that three of the
Three
big
actors
characters
from that
in
movie
that
passed
movie are
away.
dead.
Yeah, no, totally. Yep.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
damn. Anyway, yeah, no.
I know.
I hope that all that money does help his family. I hope they stay on their feet.
Absolutely.
And I hope that his kids got to spend some good time with him before he went. I know how hard that is. If you don't get to spend time with your parents before they go, man, that's rough. So, I hope they were able to. I did get to see the picture of him in the hospital room with, oh God, what is his name?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Ribeiro,
That picture, I immediately was just like, oh my God, that was just painful, but also wonderful. Like to see that kind of love and joy between two people, even though somebody's dying, is so. I don't know, it's a lot. Anyway, I don't want to go down that path too much. I'll get all emotional. On that note, we're going to move on to the next piece of news. So we got Nick Cage's Spider Noir set for May 27th. Going to be releasing on MGM Plus for 2 days, and then it'll drop on Prime. So if you want to go sign up for those 2 days, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to sign up for that. That's just me. And then, of course, they're going to drop it in both black and white and color.
Oh, that's
kind of cool. So, did you guys see the preview? I did watch it myself. So
I watched it.
Looks
all right.
Yeah.
It does look fun. It looks a little unhinged, a little Maltese Falconish, like they're trying to go for that.
Yeah.
But it's also Cage. Does he not do things that are just unhinged? Like,
he's either dialed right into just pure normal, or he's caging it up all over the place.
I love it.
I can't remember what he said. What his not inspiration, but his thought, how he portrays
Bugs Bunny?
his character. Yeah, it was Bugs Bunny and Humphrey Bogart.
Great combo. That's a great combo. Did you guys see Renfield at all?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not the best movie, but Cage as Dracula is worth the watch. Like that is worth the go through, because he's so perfect as too over the top.
I think that's one of the films in my 25 film Nicolas Cage set that I have. So
you need to watch through.
Check it out.
And it's fun. There's some funny parts. Nicholas Hoult does a great job too. They both do a great job, but it just doesn't. I think it's the screenplay. It just doesn't.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So look forward to this. We'll see what this is like. I'm excited. We'll see. Cautiously optimistic because you never know. It is a Sony property outside. It's a live action Sony property, so I'm like, I don't know, but it does look good. Another piece of news. We've got the F1 sequel already planned with Jerry Bruckheimer saying yes. I know La and Janine are not thrilled about this because they weren't thrilled about the first one.
Lump me in here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know you were you thought the movie was okay. You thought it wasn't perfect, but it was fun. Brian, let's start with you. What do you think? F1 a sequel? Is that good?
I would want to see another Top Gun sequel rather than an F1 sequel.
F1 sequel,
What about a Top Gun F1 sequel?
No. I did already say if Tom Cruise doesn't make a cameo in this,
a cold trickle. Because what more are they going to do here?
Right. There's no. They did the storyline that was it's the only logical storyline you can do.
It was good.
I don't really understand.
So unless they do this Days of Thunder crossover bit, then I don't see what's gonna.
Which would be fun.
The action sequences will still be good. It'll still be fun to watch the racing parts, but unless they can build out some story,
that's the thing.
Worthwhile,
it's that was really the only thing kind of holding F1 together. Really was the cinematography,
right?
And this new tech, how they're shooting racing sequences and stuff like that. It's
and how are you going to innovate on that? You already did it.
You already did it. You already innovated.
This is why I'm thinking if they could do
the cameras,
jets and cars.
The cars are just made of cameras. That's what it is.
That's another way to go. Or they just now F1 is jets
covered in.
It'll become Mask, that old 80s cartoon where the F1 cars.
Then that's a whole other IP, and it wouldn't be.
That's true.
It's too much.
F1. Which they've been trying to there's a mask screenplay out there. Someone's been floating around for a long time.
I think it would be good if they did it right.
It'd be fun.
Be interesting.
Yeah. I love the toys.
You guys don't know. Mask, if you don't know, Mask was a TV show.
Or is that
she's not frozen. She's just mugging us on this whole thing.
Mugging in protest.
That's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid.
It looked like she was frozen. I give you that.
Committed.
She freezes.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mask was kind of like a blend between G.I. Joe and Transformers in a way. Like the cars morphed into other things, but the people were just people and like fighting each other, and it was interesting. But it's an 80s cartoon. What are you gonna do? So it doesn't sound like Law is excited.
Not at all. We don't need this. We don't need this. Again, I always say this about movies. Like, we don't need any movie, but I just feel like this is.
We really don't.
This in particular.
This in particular is like, we really don't need this movie.
That's fair.
Because you could have. Y'all already know how I feel about what's his name, Brad Pitt's character. That he didn't really change. And if you go make it so in this movie he's going to change, I don't care no more. I'm no longer invested in his character.
Not that you ever were.
Not that I ever was, because they didn't want me to be. But it's like I don't want to see him fall in love. What y'all gonna do? What, the car's going to space? Are y'all going Fast and Furious? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Just combine Top Gun and F1, and you can have a movie. Like,
y'all, I don't know. Have a blast with this, I guess. Like, but this is not Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay, Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah, but
you don't need to.
Caribbean should have stopped at 3. So.
And you didn't even leave it open at the end to like leave it, like, to leave some like, oh, the mystery of this can be.
I wanted Baja the movie at the end. That's what I wanted. I want to see him go on and.
If the sequel is a prequel, maybe, but I doubt it will be. So it's like, what are they going to be like? Hey, we need you back again for this new. Like, what are you gonna? Go ahead.
All right, so then we have one more piece of news before we move on to the Reel Roundup, and that is, of course, we now have an official announcement of Mummy 4 happening with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. And,
we need this. We need this.
We need this sequel, but not that other one. May 19th, 2028 release, so it's going to be 2 years and some. But hey, they gotta make the movie. So like,
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Just give it to me. This is what I wanted. This is before those other billion other mummy films that nobody asked for. This is what I've been waiting for since the second one came out. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
This
is the adventure franchise of films. Those first 2 films are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one doesn't exist. I never watched it. I don't even think of it. So.
We reviewed it.
I watched it for all of us. Don't you worry about it. They had Yetis in that movie. Let's not. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was bad. There was no need for Yetis in that movie. I agree with you. There was an added thing just for the sake of it.
Exactly. Like Aina said, the fact that they're both returning means the script must be good. Because Rachel
was like, no, on that third one.
On that third one, she was like, no, gracias. I'm not about to let my legacy go down because y'all just want some money. So, yeah.
All right. So it sounds like we're all excited for this one. We'll see how this goes. All right, that means we're going to move into the Reel Roundup, and we're going to start with. No, wait, Brian didn't see anything. Oh, I was going to mess that up. Nope. Brian didn't see anything. We're going to start with Lala. You actually got to see the new Predator Badlands on Disney Plus. I still haven't seen it, so
it's so good. Oh my gosh.
I thoroughly enjoy this. Listen, okay, so y'all know I'm a little judgmental when it comes to these movies. I'm a little judgmental, but what critic isn't? But I went into this movie and felt like the tone. I felt initially like the tone was off because Elle Fanning plays like her character is very kind of goofy. Yeah, like perky and goofy to me, and I was like, are we missing the tone of Predator? I'm just confused. Like the tone just seemed to be all over the place, but I don't know. As it kept going, I kind of like got a little bit more seated in it as the plots kind of, because I was like, listen, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't seen it, but my brain was like, this, what happens to our Predator? I was like, this can't be the main, this can't be the main storyline. Like something has to happen. And we also know that the Whaling Company is trash. So I was like, something has to happen. with this company. So once we kind of got into like the meat of it, I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was funny. I thought the action was great. There's a scene with the lower half of her body that is just hilarious, but also so like choreographed amazingly that like I don't even care that like it was a little silly. I don't really care because it was amazing because it was just like a new way to see a fight choreographed, and it was smart because you didn't have to have Elle Fanning do anything really. You just had like you just had her stunt double and cut her top half off. You know what I mean? Like it was just like I thought it was fun. I thought like, and it wrapped up in a way. I was screaming in the beginning of this film like, go kill this thing, come back, kill your daddy. That's all I was saying throughout the whole movie. And it ended so perfectly that I was like, this movie is what movies should be made of.
Yeah, what Dan is doing with these, like Killer of Killers, is great as well. And Prey was amazing.
I was curious about that.
Prey was amazing. I loved Prey.
But the animated one was really good, you're saying as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check that one out. But I do say go check out Predator Badlands. It's on Disney Plus / Hulu.
Yes. I know our producer suggested a double feature of Badlands and Killer Killers. So
interesting. And Killer Killers is like what, 8 episodes, animated episodes, so short.
Yeah, so I was gonna check that because I think that popped up when I was like on Disney or whatever.
No, it's really good.
I was like, do I need to go through all the Predator stuff to like just to do the lore and go through everything? But I do appreciate them just opening up the lore for Predators, you know, just opening up like that type of like, you know, I enjoyed that because they are like really solidified in like the lexicon of like Hollywood, like Predators, you know, it's been around since like 80s, I think, like, you know, sometime in the 80s. So it's just like I was excited to see what else they had more for this, and I wasn't disappointed. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was great.
I will definitely be checking it out. Absolutely. I don't know why I've waited so long. Because I'm watching other movies and things. Janine, you got to see Wuthering Heights, the adaptation of the novel. This is, of course, starring Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. What'd you think?
Yeah. So yeah, Wuthering Heights. I will say I think I enjoyed it more than most people did because, you know, it's getting a lot of not great reviews and commentary. But it's like I think she was very open about this not being a one-to-one adaptation, that it was kind of just her fun interpretation of how she felt, you know, when she first read it. So I wasn't going into this expecting kind of anything specific. And I'm also not super familiar with the book. So I did watch the 1939 Laurence Olivier version so I could get a sense of what the story was. I also did extra homework of watching 13 films that Emerald Fennell recommended you watch before going to see this. So these, you know, I assume were 13 films that inspired her version. So as somebody who writes, as somebody who watches classic films and is really kind of in love with the idea of inspiration and kind of what came before and how that inspires people, I wanted to understand what inspired this version. And so I think that's what made the film a little bit better for me, because I was able to see a ton of the inspiration of the things that she selected in this movie. She chose films from a lot of directors who had a clear vision, like Baz Luhrmann and Francis Ford Coppola. She picked movies that have very kind of strong, complex, and graphic sexual scenes and elements and complicated sexual relationships. She picked movies that have very kind of lush poppy colors and films that kind of combine modern and old sensibilities. She picked films from female directors, films that have a lot of jealousy and pettiness and betrayal and doomed relationships. So I was happy to see a lot of that incorporated in the film, and that made me kind of enjoy it a little bit more, seeing her interpretation and reimagining of those concepts. I think she did a good job with a lot of those things. But I think maybe what a lot of people didn't like about it was kind of probably the most important thing about this movie is that this love is a kind of destructive, desperate kind of love. And a love that is so kind of desperate that you would do anything, good or bad, in service of it. And we see the characters do that, but I don't know that there was enough shown between the characters to make you believe that the love was that desperate. And since that is kind of the biggest point and crux of this film, that should have been the strongest aspect, and it was not. I think she let a lot of their relationship development fall by the wayside to do almost like a proof of concept video in a lot of moments in the film, because we do get a lot of beautiful costumes and music and set pieces. All of that stuff I think was incredibly impressive and looked gorgeous. In watching the 1939 version, I kind of got a sense for what the story was, and it seemed like there was this added manufactured kind of nastiness from a lot of the characters that I didn't see in that original version. So I don't know if those were added elements that she put on it to like add some drama, but I didn't really care for that kind of characterization and changing of characterization. And they kind of, I think there's a lot of complaints about this Isabella character that they make kind of have this,
oh right, like, I heard that too.
You know, this submission kind of kink, when originally the character was more like, I can fix Heathcliff, and people are telling her, no, you cannot fix this man, and she thinks she can anyway, and kind of pays the price for that. I preferred that kind of version of the character as opposed to kind of this very sad submissive character that we get in the movie. So overall, I think it fell flat, and it felt underbaked in kind of making me believe the desperation of this love, but it looked pretty. There was a lot of good in it, and I appreciated her kind of pulling from some really interesting sources and how she reinterpreted those specific things. So I didn't hate it. It definitely could have been a lot better. But yeah, I think it fell flat in some of the most important ways.
So you might call this movie mid then, because it's good, but not good.
More like Wuthering Heights. Am I right?
Oh, but question though. I have a question for Janine.
I'm here all night, guys.
Do you think that this film would have fared better if it wasn't titled Wuthering Heights?
I mean, because I went into it not really knowing much about Wuthering Heights.
Right.
So that wouldn't have made a difference for me. Maybe that would have made a difference for fans of the book.
Yeah. I mean, not so much for you. I was more so saying like as a whole, because I think sometimes when you try to like recreate something in like your own image or how you think it should be or however it is, you might want to change the title because people automatically go in thinking one thing and you set them up for something else. So
I mean, yeah, this could have been something else because this felt more like a tragic art piece as opposed to kind of like a really clear functioning story. So,
got you.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but I did not hate it.
Yeah, no, I
think you benefited from not like knowing the original piece and like reading the book. I think you probably benefited more than most people did. They probably went in like, this ain't my Wuthering Heights. You know? Like,
yeah.
My wife has always said that she would prefer to always watch the film and then read the book. That way she can have it filled in and see the details after. That way you don't potentially have it ruined for you or whatever. I'm the same way. So I also got to see a movie, which has been out for a little bit, but it was one that I think is wildly relevant. I watched Blink Twice with Channing Tatum. And cool. I will warn every single human being that hears this. Know what you're getting into before you watch this movie. If you are triggered easily by the content of this type of film, don't watch it. Don't.
There is a trigger warning, I believe, before the film as well.
There absolutely is. And damn good reason. And what's wild is that the movie will give you a false sense of security, which is kind of the point. You're meant to feel what these girls are going through, and it brings you along, and you start to like feel like they do, like things are weird. This is weird. What's going on? This is weird. And eventually you just want to throw up because it's so disgusting and so awful and so terrible. And I don't want to go into too much because I just don't want to, trigger people who are on the show. But this is more relevant than any movie right now, period. Like, flat out. If you're reading headlines and you think you want to understand what it would be like, that's the movie. Which is not good, but also important. It's both. It's awful. But this needs to be talked about. And I never thought I could hate Channing. Her approach? Yeah, absolutely was. It's a very it's not a typical film in the way that it's built, because it's weird. I don't think this would work as a book ever, because you'd be in the characters' heads too much and it could get too revealing too quickly. But by being a film, you're standing outside of them, and you're experiencing as a third party rather than them. It's really well done. The script is great. The people you love are playing evil people in this movie, and it makes it really hard. Kyle MacLachlan is in this movie as a bad guy, and and then Channing Tatum, like, he even said he had his teeth, like, they did veneers and stuff in order to kind of give him a different look, because
like this false perfection kind of thing.
And it's a great movie, like, don't get me wrong, but it stuck with me for like 5 straight days. I had that like ick I couldn't shake for like 5 straight days.
I recently rewatched it too, because I'm doing my Black Cinema Challenge, and one of the categories was film by a Black female director, and so I chose that one because I hadn't seen it since I saw it in the theater. So very kind of chilling on a rewatch to remember.
And Gina's in it.
Sure is.
Yes, she is.
It was weird because
part, guess,
she does, but it's like, have you not seen it, Brian?
I have not seen it, no.
Okay. Yeah, her part is great. I think she does a fantastic job. She still has that same punch that she always does, but it'll take you for a loop. Sure. Take you for a loop. If you can stomach it, watch it. If you have trauma, don't just walk away from it. But yeah. There you go. We have 2 romantic comedies we're going to talk about this evening. These are, of course, 2 Black-led comedies for Black History Month. The first one is the 1992 release of Boomerang, which is, of course, written by Eddie Murphy. He wrote the story and the screenplay, written by the 2 guys that basically wrote every other one of his famous movies that were popular. They did come.
Everyone's kind of in this movie.
Of other things. So
absolutely.
The cast is crazy. Yeah.
Yes. Did you make any connections, Brian? I know I mentioned that to you last week.
Yeah.
Because I know you and me end up doing that all the time, making these character connections.
Yeah, for sure.
You're muted, sir.
Muted. That was muted on me. I didn't that just happened. I didn't do that. Weird. So Janine's got some trivia for us for Boomerang. Let's hear the trivia.
Oh no, it's not loading. 1 second,
while it's loading.
Yada da yada da yada da da yada da.
Get some popcorn and listen to us talk.
Yada da da yada da.
Okay.
See?
John Witherspoon's scenes were added after filming had wrapped. Eddie Murphy demanded that scenes with Witherspoon be added to the film. Witherspoon picked his outlandish wardrobe himself and improvised.
I was going to say, that seems like something he owns.
That whole scene
mushroom suit was all him.
With his mushroom suit and mushroom belt. Halle Berry was the only actress to audition for the part of Angela. Eddie Murphy and Reginald Hudlin cast her immediately after seeing her screen test.
Nice.
The studio was nervous about Robin Givens being cast as Jacqueline. At the time, she was labeled as a cold-hearted gold digger by the media and the general public during her marriage to Mike Tyson.
That makes sense.
Reginald Hudlin felt her public image made her perfect for the part because she could be seen as a strong woman who could control Marcus.
And does she?
And how she does.
Yeah. Angela smacking Marcus was real.
Yep.
Okay, Hallie.
Yeah. Eartha Kitt was reluctant to take the role of Lady Eloise because she found some of her lines offensive. The lines were deleted from the script.
Oh, funny.
Oh, okay.
Reginald Hudlin based Marcus's obsession with women's feet on a friend of his who would not date a woman if he did not like the back of her teeth or her back teeth.
Why you that deep in my mouth?
I see the back of her teeth.
Like,
wait, am I missing something? I don't think I understand what you mean.
Say
yeah, I guess.
Not the back.
You say every day.
Looking at her back teeth for, dude.
Let me.
Yeah.
I got this little dental mirror. I need to just check something real quick.
Real quick.
Exactly,
Your
right?
eighth molar is.
It's not straight. I don't like it.
Sure,
Both
you're a great person.
actresses, yeah, both actresses Eartha Kitt and Halle Berry have played Catwoman. Eartha Kitt was Catwoman on the Batman 1966 TV series, and Halle Berry in the movie Catwoman in 2004. Actor John Witherspoon plays a character who says "bang, bang, bang" when referring to sex. He says the same thing in Vampire in Brooklyn 1995. Also, right?
And he says the same thing in the Wayans Brothers TV show.
There's
Like
really
that's his
John
thing.
Witherspoon. There's a John Witherspoon universe, and all these other characters are in his universe. That's
Absolutely.
Yes. And lastly, 3 actors in this film have appeared in James Bond 007 films. Jeffrey Holder was in Live and Let Die, Grace Jones was in A View to a Kill, and Halle Berry was in Die Another Day.
Yeah.
Also, I would like to add that Martin, John Witherspoon, and I cannot remember her name, and it hurts my soul, but the woman who played his wife were all in the TV show Martin.
Oh yeah.
At different
And
points.
Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell.
Tisha Campbell as well. Yeah. Also, David Alan Grier was in a couple of episodes of Martin as well. So it's pretty nice.
He's so good.
And Martin and Eddie are about to be grandfathers to the same child.
Because
Whoa.
their kids,
Martin's
married
daughter is married to Eddie's son, and they're just announced.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Watching this made me ask my wife, here we go, my wife, one question I want to ask the panel before we get into the review. Do you prefer Martin and Eddie or Martin and Will?
Oh.
To me, it's two different. It's two different vibes.
Yeah, but
you got to pick like enough.
But if I have to choose
life, because they also did life together. I'm about to say
they together. So if I had to choose, I'll say Martin and Eddie.
And Eddie, if you watch after watching Life, I think Eddie.
Yeah,
I feel like Eddie. Oh, go ahead.
For me, it's Martin and Will, but I haven't seen enough
Eddie
and Martin. Yeah. Plus, I love the Bad Boys movies. But
that's fair as well. They are great. For me, I feel like Martin is a softer when he's with Eddie, and he's a lot more angry and frustrated. When
it's a very different. I mean,
that's what it is. Like, I don't know, but
I don't know if you watch Life. If you watch Life, he's not soft with Eddie in Life. Like he's quite. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, he's quite annoyed, frustrated, and
kind of against each other. Yeah, they're stuck together.
Another film for like April or so. You should throw in there.
We could do more Eddie Murphy. You're not going to hear me say no. Coming to America was my favorite comedy when I was like 11 years old. Like, not that it should have been at 11, but hey, whatever. It was the 80s. Okay, so we, of course, the general rule for our show is if somebody's never seen the movie, we try to go to them first. So who has not seen Boomerang? You have not seen Boomerang?
Oh.
But here's the thing, it's like I have seen it, but I've never seen it because I've seen gifs from it, GIF.
Right.
I've seen like clips from it. You know, I've seen people like reference it, but I've never like sat down and watched Boomerang.
Yeah, I've seen the preview like 1,000 times because it was on every DVD.
Like Girls with Pretty Feet, but I didn't really. I wasn't really privy. But I love this film. I thought it was hilarious. I was screaming at the screen, like I was screaming, like I streamed it like I usually do. I streamed it and I was yelling out, "What is?" Like I was just screaming out about everything. Anytime somebody came up, I was like, "Martin's in this. David Allen Robert Gibbons in this." I just kept like yelling names. I was like, the cast is like crazily sad. I was like, Tisha Campbell. I was like, who? Like, what are we doing?
Played a total crazy person.
She was so good. She was so good.
She had all those signs ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Run, girl, get out of
here. I loved everything about it. And I love how sincere she was at the end. And then she was like, "You want to cover my?"
Yeah.
Like, not if Jesus was pouring the tea. Yeah. Okay. And then she just went back to herself.
She immediately switches back.
Immediately goes back to herself. I thought this film was like very well done. I thought it was cast to perfection. I kind of called it in the beginning. I was like, he gonna fall in love with Halle Berry because it's Halle Berry, right? Like I was like, and even though I know at this point she kind of was but wasn't at the same time. So I was just like, oh, but he gonna fall in love with Halle Berry. Like she just seems like that's the one he gonna fall for. And
yes, and
but
they
think
do
about
take
it though,
time to establish a friendship, which I think was nice.
which I thought was so great. Like that was like one of my favorite things about this was that like you could already tell that she was like slightly underneath it all attracted to him when they first met.
Yeah.
But she just like made herself his friend. Like he didn't have a choice. Okay.
I was attracted to him when they first met. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was really cool that like they established this friendship, but still I like that his character really, really didn't change until he was in a situation where he was like, wait a second. Nah, this not it for me.
This isn't right.
No.
This not it for me. I love the moments between him and David Allen Greer when they, you know, at the pool hall when they were talking. And he was like, "Come on, man! Like we know who
Why do you have to have everything?
Right.
Yeah,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like why you gotta have all the girls? Like we know who you are, but it's like I don't care about them other ones, but she's
she's
like
special.
he warned him, like he
You don't care
foreshadowed
about
this.
girls. Yeah,
Right? He
I don't want to see
foreshadowed.
you hurt
He was
her.
like you're mean, bro. You might not think you are, but you're mean, and you can't treat this girl is too nice for you to do that to. And then but then it's like I love that he essentially turned her into Jacqueline towards the end until he went and talked to her and had that conversation and you know understood because she was a businesswoman. She forgot about them kids. She was a little hard, you know, very short. Like she was slightly turning into Jacqueline until he came in and kind of stepped in and was like, I love you and I don't like I truly love you. Like I've never loved anybody like this. So like I thought it was hilarious. It hit on some great like yearning beats. Okay, Janine. It was like
the
I
yearning
love
being earned is what you're saying.
Come on, it was listen. The
We
yearning.
didn't say that publicly, so no one has a frame of reference for what you're talking about.
Oh, that's right. We didn't say that.
No. But I winked at Janine for me. And I was like, Janine.
That's a joke for us. But.
I was very comedic with mine. I was like, Janine got it right. Like, but I don't know. I'm happy that I added this to my lexicon of films because this will be something that I rewatch over and over again because the scenes with him and John Witherspoon are like improvised and I think it's some of the best scenes in the film. I want me a mushroom shirt now. Like I love
lined jacket, right?
Mushroom lined jacket with the mushroom belt. Yeah, I mean, like
but you would need mushroom shoelaces to go with it.
Listen, I need the whole shebang. I need the whole thing. And then I love the scene where like the parents are having sex in the thing and they can't even speak. He just hugs him and everything.
Was the best moment. And it was like silence for 20
Inside Out, I think.
And I was laughing the whole time.
He put his jacket on Inside Out. He was just like, they couldn't speak. That could have been, I think in anybody else's hands, that scene would have fell flat. I would have been annoyed.
Yeah.
But with those two
like
legendary actors, comedic actors, it just it sat so well.
Yes.
I was screaming. I was like, what is wrong with this film? Nothing, because it's amazing. I loved it. I loved Boomerang. It was great. Yeah.
I even loved how mom was like, she comes out, she was like adjusting her lipstick and that's a beautiful, beautiful moment. This was my first time seeing Boomerang. I thought I had seen it, and then when I watched it, I went, "Oh shit, no, I actually hadn't seen it." It was very much like Wall had said. I'd seen it so many times. It was on every. I think it was a preview on like every other VHS.
Yeah, like clips and stuff. So you think you've seen it, but you did.
It was everywhere, and it's Eddie. So you're like, "Oh, I've seen all these little clips." But as soon as I got into the meat of the movie, I was like, "Oh shit, I've never seen this." I think I would have remembered Stranger had I, seen it.
Oh yeah.
The legendary actors in this film. For the time, but then now a lot of those character actors are legendary as well. David Allen Greer is so underrated. Like he doesn't get the love that he deserves. Eddie doesn't get the love he deserves for range, and this movie shows more of his range than most of his films because in the beginning he's playing such a player. He's so suave, he's so smooth, and by halfway through the film he's so insecure and he just looks like somebody who's just been hurt constantly.
You can tell
or when he sees the money on the side table and he just pulls.
Yeah, he's like he pulls the
I feel so used.
I said it's for the tickets.
His attitude where he's like, "Are you gonna call me?"
For the tickets, bro. It's okay. It's okay.
I think my favorite moment of him with Robin Gibbons, or like waiting for her, was when he was like, "You're gonna call me, right?" And then it goes to the next scene, and he's like sitting there like. And he just picks it up. Hello, like
immediately
so fast.
right.
So good. It really blew my mind. the fact that this movie got panned for the idea that black people could not be successful in 1992. I'm like, there are 10, 11 black people in this movie, and you're telling me in a city of 9 million fucking people that you find this unrealistic? You're fucking crazy. Like, I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Which was so dumb that like, why are you depicting black people this way? They
no,
don't,
but that's
run
the crux
companies
of black movies in Hollywood or black acted, films, is that y'all always want us to be like crackheads or down on our luck or babies' mothers or in jail, or we got to be slaves to like make it make sense.
Right. Or I even asked this question, like, Coming to America was 4 years earlier, and he's an extremely wealthy prince. But because he's from Africa, it's fine. Like it's like
and it's played for comedy.
Of course, and it goes back to that same criticism that people had with this one. It's just like, oh, they couldn't possibly see themselves or see, or whatever, or recognize this. But then it's like, but black audiences have to do that all the time.
Exactly.
All the time.
Yeah, and they don't even bring up race. They don't even talk about it. Not a factor.
No, it's just this is the world.
Yeah,
this is the world that exists.
The movie is presenting to you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this movie is that where it's like, everyone in the background is black. There's like a white person here that's like the waitress. It's like where you would normally see in like a pretty much predominantly white movie, you would see
a black
person in those roles, in the background or whatever. But like this is just like black people everywhere.
And I love that I think the majority of white people that we do see is bringing Grace Jones in when she comes in and shot. Four white guys. I was like, I was like, I see that. I love it.
Or it's those like
the French, the French business people. Yeah.
Or the racist assholes, like there's those guys in there too.
I love that part where he like
that was like he's like
scares him.
That was hilarious. He was like, see, now what would he expect a black man? Think about it. That was hilarious.
We talked about it. My Batsy and I talked about it. The idea is, he does all this shit, the terrible shop owner or whatever, manager. And Eddie's right. He's like, don't give in, because as soon as you give in, as soon as you react, you're going to just give into the stereotype that they're already giving you. So you take the higher road and then do the scare the shit out of them thing as you leave.
Like that to take the higher road every
I know.
Time.
Exactly.
It's so annoying. But understood though. Save yourself. Don't lose your life. Take the higher road.
Because it won't matter. It won't matter after that happens. The public and the perception, all of that will just run away with it, and it's awful that we live in that world.
Yeah, Grace Jones was amazing in this though. Grace Jones put all into this. And if they have a biopic, Tiana Taylor might as well just play Grace Jones.
Ooh,
just saying.
Interesting.
This ain't, Tiana Taylor's already there. She might as well play Grace Jones.
So I think of Grace Jones immediately. I think of Conan, like, because it goes back to Conan for me. For her. That's the only other thing I've really ever seen her in. But anyway, I agree. Yeah. Brian, tell us that, and then tell us what you think of Boomerang.
Tell you what about Grace Jones.
I thought you were talking about Grace Jones. Sorry.
Like my first connection with her was obviously a Bond movie,
Okay.
But Boomerang is great. It was I'd seen it a long time ago, so it's almost like in a lot of ways feels like the first time I'm seeing it, but also it's like I have like a new appreciation for it, being older and more experienced and just appreciating films in general more, where I don't think I appreciated as much back then, because I don't remember if I saw it when it first came out, because I would have been 12. So like, I'm not gonna like understand half of this stuff in this movie. So, but like this. I mean, this is a laugh out loud movie. Like it's hilarious. There's just so many like we've mentioned already. Like for me, there's like that whole concept of like just everyone is black in the background everywhere, and like just being successful. But there's like it's one of those things that like from what I've heard from Janine and Law and just other black audiences in general, it's like you're tired of seeing movies about like black struggle and
yeah.
and where this is just a movie where they're just living their lives. They're going to their business people.
The struggle is the struggle
and we
is
see them at work as well. We see them working and being good at their job and all that kind of stuff.
No matter who he is, like out in the streets, he's still really good at his job. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
And again, they don't really mention that whole aspect of like, that there's Black people everywhere in this movie. So I love that because that was like an intentional thing. They made that an intentional thing when they're making this movie. Like, hey, I want to have, especially with Eddie Murphy kind of being like a big producer on this film.
Right.
Yeah. So it's great. And it doesn't take away from it. It doesn't just addressing those critiques that they had when this movie first came out. It's like, I don't see how that's going to have you take you out of this movie. Like, it's so funny. Then like, there's just so many great small moments in it. Like the one we mentioned with David Allen Greer's parents that come out of the bathroom. I just love that moment. The moment, that he's like pulling the sheets off.
Covers up,
like,
I've been so used.
Yeah.
The $200 was such a great little addition.
That's a good little There's so many great things. Like one of my favorite ones too is when Halle Berry first brings him to the kids, and he's like, these fun interactions with the girl. He's like mocking her, licking her hands, like oh my god, just doing like that feels almost like it was improvised. Very Eddie Murphy thing.
Well, that's out of his stand-up in a lot of ways. Like some of things like that, and he's like white guy voice or all like whatever. His white guy voice is the best white guy voice ever.
Yeah, his is really good. But but it is also great to like he does have a real arc in this. Like he's and they do a good job of establishing like who he is, how he's like
this player and
the big the big for lack of a better term, swinging dick in that office. And it's kind of known that way, but then he gets a taste of his own medicine.
The player got played.
And it's like, oh man, how does he like come back from that? So it was I don't know, it's a solid film all around. Like it was really
absolutely.
I love
now
it.
he had a good reason to go to HR by the time he got back, and they were all laughing at him. Like that was very much holy shit.
That's why I said this. I said that during my stream. I said this is why she made sure he didn't get fired, because he could have easily been like, wait a minute,
especially what happened with Strong J and her telling Strong J like how he is in bed, and that causing a whole kind of issue. Yeah, and having her make that big public scene because Jacqueline couldn't keep her mouth shut about their sex life.
Yeah, no, Jacqueline was just a worse version of Marcus, basically. Makes sense. Janine, I think, this was your pick. These two were your picks again. Next week will be Law's picks. So tell us what you think about Boomerang. Why you pick it? Is it still as funny as it was the first time you saw it?
I really enjoy this movie. I covered it just a couple weeks ago on Morgan Hasn't Seen. We did we're doing a 90s rom-com series right now. So just upon a rewatch, that was my first time watching it in a long while, and I was like, laughing out loud at a ton of things. The whole aspect of like the Black excellence and that not being kind of a disgust thing. It's just that's what this world is, was just really cool to see. I love the structure of this film, that we lay out like a perfect kind of opening scenario to see Marcus in action and see kind of his game that he runs on Leela Rashawn and the whole dog thing. So we get a sense of that. And then
her character too. She was like
Curbster.
Exactly. And then we immediately kind of see him try to replicate that same kind of method on Jacqueline, and it backfiring to set that up as well. My only kind of little issue is just the fact that, like, I think for someone who is set up to be kind of this player, the fact that he falls for Jacqueline like immediately after they sleep together felt a little fast for someone like him and what they establish him as. But other than that, I think this film is really well executed. I think the comedy's great. I think the whole stuff with Lady Eloise and him like hooking up with her was pretty hilarious. When he goes to dinner, at her house, and her butler is just like, another one up and spit you out.
That asparagus scene really made it hard for me. I was like, oh god, okay. This is much. Can you make it darker?
Can you make it darker? Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes. So the comedy still landed after kind of watching it for the first time in a while. The structure of it, just a great movie. Also, like, I'm not used to seeing Halle Berry like this anymore. Like, she's kind of always more a tougher character. So to see kind of like this bubbly version of her. Yes. And like I said earlier, like, I love that they established that friendship with her and Marcus early on, so that when it does kind of grow, it makes sense. Even like we saw her kind of go to bat for Marcus when she sees that Jacqueline's
she's like, can you
kind of
just chill
broken
out?
down.
Pat her on the shoulder.
It's affecting his work.
Listen, when
having
she
the work
patted
on
her on the shoulder.
Oh
baby,
my god!
That was so good.
I was like, that a power move.
Jacqueline takes that to
move.
heart. Yeah, because we see Jacqueline get like visibly jealous and try to kind of make something happen with Marcus after that. But yeah, just love the structure of this film. The comedy is great. Really, really enjoyable.
No, the ratings on this film are trash. People trash this movie all over the place, and it pisses me off. And then I actually started reading some reviews from different, more high-profile critics, and they all said the same stupid shit over and over again, which was basically like, "This is unrealistic." Which I'm like, "Wow, just come out and say it." And then the other half was like, "Oh, it's a mess. It's all over the place." And I'm like, "Dude, I noticed maybe one scene that felt a little weird." Maybe two, where like there was a moment where I was like, wait, there should have been more there. It feels like something hit the cutting room floor. And then the moment after he's coming back to his apartment and Halle Berry's character has left and only left a note. That scene was so short and it felt kind of like weirdly placed, but that didn't change the overall, like those are two little moments. Some people said,
well, she said she'd be back later for her stuff, so she was back.
No, I know, but the scene when he comes in, he sees the note, it cuts like it was so fast.
Oh, like the
and there were like fade outs and stuff.
Little fade outs.
I was like, that scene sense, Nitty. What are you talking about?
It makes sense, but it makes sense after the fact. It's one of those scenes where I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, I see what happened there, and it's fine. It doesn't ruin the film. I saw another person talk about how it could have been a half hour shorter. I'm like, then you missed the point of the film, because it's half of the film is about him and Jacqueline, and then the other half is about him falling in love with who he's supposed to really fall in love with. So like, what do you mean? It needed 2 hours. Like,
So. And we're also getting a great Babyface produced soundtrack for this movie.
No, because that was every song on there. I was like, Tony on this album. I said, Tony on this soundtrack. I wanted to touch on something that Janine brought up when she brought up like the change in Marcus's character, like how he fell in love with Jacqueline. When I was watching it, I too was like, wait, but he's a play. But then it dawned on me when I was watching it, I was like, he has an ideal of what love is, like, because he makes it a point to say that like he wouldn't mind being in a relationship, but it has to look a certain way. She has to be perfect. And for him, he was like, she looks good, the sex is good,
eat her right.
Good. So that to him, that's love, right? And so when he found that in this woman, and she could keep up with him. Right. She was kind of like she was
challenged him,
right?
I mean, even when they were at that banquet or whatever, and she like, oh, there's an eyelash in your eye.
Oh, that was hilarious.
He was like,
he's like, wait a minute, I know this move. What's really great about the two characters, Jacqueline and Marcus, I think that's kind of unique, even in a rom-com, is that he is a Trekkie and she is into basketball, and that is not typical. And I really liked it because he's sitting there watching her play.
And that scene was hilarious too, because she was just like, "Yo, can you grab me a beer when you get up?"
It felt so used. Now, I wanted to say, because that was something Janina brought up, and you did it as well, Law, is that when he finally meets his match, it's because he thinks he can dominate every woman he's ever come across. He can't dominate Jacqueline. And that hooked him. He was almost like, well, no, I gotta. And that's why he was hanging on a thread for 3 weeks. That's why he was like, give me the call.
No, because the scene when like her assistant calls him and he's like, she's
opening like 3 weeks from now.
He's like 3 weeks from now. He was like, do you want me to pencil you in? Or he was like, yeah, I guess. Like I was like, this brother hooked. I said, Lord,
I'm glad we finally got Spock's last name though too.
Absolutely.
Spock Jenkins.
Absolutely. Spock Jenkins. Absolutely.
I love it. Yeah, no, good stuff. But we do have another film, so we do, of course, want to rate this one. Do you guys have any other thoughts on Boomerang other than everybody should watch it? That's the only thought.
Wasn't the soundtrack like a bestseller around that time?
I think it was a very popular.
Remembering that, like, it's
sold. But I think that's funny, right? It's our music, but not our acting that you love.
I know, right?
Okay.
Like, Eddie didn't start out as a pretty man, in my opinion, but by the time we got to this year, like, this is the same year he was also in Michael Jackson's Remember the Time, and like he did another movie this year.
But this is around the time where like he started to have money. And money changes what
he was producing.
Like,
but like
you get better skincare.
Like his skin is looking great. His hair is perfect.
Your clothes get better. Your movies have better.
Because I remember you. Yeah, exactly. I remember you mentioning that last week. I think Snitty about not really seeing a lot of Eddie Murphy being kind of suave and like the leading man.
Right.
So you're getting a lot of that here too, which I think is really
great.
We're not seeing a ton of
he
that.
kept biting that bottom lip. Every time he beat that bottom lip, I said, "Eddie, sir, I need you to chill."
Like I'm used to like Eddie Murphy in 48 Hours or Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop, yeah.
Him being kind of like grounded and goofy and being like,
48 Hours,
like, yeah.
Dude. 48 Hours.
Like, I love 48 Hours. Yeah.
Nerds, not fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was his first major role. I mean, obviously, he was on SNL.
Yeah, I mean, he's so
before
good.
that, but like,
movie, like both of them together too, like Nick Nolte and him.
Yeah.
Worked really well together.
Well, you got Buddy Cop, you got Fish Out of Water, you got there's so many great tropes in that film.
Let's just do it Eddie week one day. Write that down, producer.
Well, we could do the 48 Hours movies. There's a pair of them, so we could watch.
I've never seen the sequel, and I've only seen the first one once.
I've never seen. I've seen.
So if I were to watch it, it would definitely be like first time watch because I don't.
I've seen neither. Yeah, so
okay, it settles it. We'll be doing more Eddie Murphy, and we'll be doing 48 Hours. 48 Hours. So there we go. We have much of the year left, so we have plenty of time to watch more movies. But why don't we go ahead and rate Boomerang, and then we can move on to something new. I know Law has a hard out here soon, so we want to give just at least hear her thoughts on something new. So quick rating, Law, Boomerang.
Boomerang, I give this a 9.5. I loved it.
9.5.
I loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give it a 9. Like it was an 8 when I watched it. Talking about it, it moved to a 9. So like, this is a great movie.
I like
Brian.
It's a 9 for me also.
Nice. Janine.
Yeah, a 9.5. Yeah.
Let's go, Janine. Okay. Come on, red hair.
9.25. Gotta love it.
Unite.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the highest rated comedies we've ever done on this show, honestly. Excellent film. Okay, moving on to something new, which we're of course going to. Because Law has a hard out here really quick, I'd like to just hear her opinions, and then we will get to the trivia that is out of order, but we will do it this way. This one.
Well, there's not a ton. I could not find hardly any trivia, so there's literally only 2 little nuggets of trivia on this one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so tell us something new, Law.
Yeah.
I mean about something new. Sorry.
I've seen this before. I love this movie. I think it touches on interracial relationships in a way that a lot of movies are either scared to do or don't do, or especially because they really didn't like putting black and white actors together to do anything, to fall in love or do anything. But I thought that this was masterfully played because from a black perspective, your family can be your biggest hindrance in growing. And I feel like that was what the crux of Sanaa Lathan's character.
Yeah.
Not only that she wants to make sure that everybody else is okay with her, like she just, she sits herself down, but it's more so like her mother, how her mother plays into like your parents play into your identity until you can kind of like stand on your own 2 feet and just have your own. So like this really spoke to like the pressures that can already be within the black household, and then the pressures you get outside of that from everybody else in your business, thinking they know better, thinking all these other things. And then, because it makes you really think, like, should not? But this man is so, but he's nice. Is it because he's white, or is it because he's just a nice person? Like your brain just kind of moves because you're not opening yourself up to receive that. And I love that. I love Simon Baker. Gorgeous man. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Ugo Nation. Let's put him down. Ugo Nation.
Definitely has that I'm a 30-year-old surfer thing.
Yes. And he got an accent for real. He was just doing an American one in this, but baby boy, he got an accent. But I thought he was cast perfectly because he's a subtleness to himself that he's pushy, but not so pushy that it comes off creepy. You know what I mean? Like
he's confident.
He's confident, right? But confidence can be kind of creepy sometimes too, depending on what
Daimler versus Dauber kind of a thing.
Yeah. So he had a nice
he's not
balance.
afraid to challenge her.
Exactly. Like he had a nice balance. And I love when they got into the argument about hair. He was being genuinely like curious. And again, for a Black woman that
speaks to us so much. Yeah.
Because so many people, like I said, it starts at home.
We have a lot of insecurity about our hair.
Nitpicks and touches your hair and like and again,
it
probably
her mother made it worse.
Her mother.
Right?
No, absolutely. She's like, what did you do to your long hair, your tresses? And I was like, I said, Alfred, I'm gonna punch you real quick. Just
like I said, I've never wanted to hate Alfred Woodard at all until this
literally.
Movie.
But I also loved it like she could immediately be herself. Like there was no pretense. There was even in the beginning when she was like, don't let your dog in my house, and I don't do things like this. He respected her along the way, but he inquired and asked questions. Well, why don't you do color? Why don't you do this? Why is your hair like this? Like it was never. It felt abrasive to her because like.
There's no judgment behind what he's asking.
There's no judgment.
He's genuinely curious.
But it felt like judgment because everybody think they know her and they put her in this box. And he's like, why are you in this box? Can you tell me why you're in this box? And it feels like somebody's grabbing her, picking and attacking you and picking at you.
That's
because she didn't have an actual answer either.
Exactly, because she doesn't know why she's in that box.
Gets flustered and tells him to leave because she doesn't know. Right. Yeah, and like the insecurity we have around our hair, tying it to our beauty, and all of that, just like the relatability of that.
Exactly, it's just amazing because I've had moments like that where I was, meaning like it was an African man to make matters even kind of crazier, and he asked me if I ever straightened my hair. And this was me like wearing my natural hair out for the first time, in a while. And he was like, "You ever think about straightening your hair?" He was like, "I think you look better with straightened hair." And I was like, "No, I believe this room. Have a good day." But so this movie, when it first came out, really spoke to me. Watching it now, older, really spoke to me. Really, like, just hit me in a different way, and just made it so like it should be okay to love who you love, to be with who you want to be with, regardless of race, regardless of anything. And if you can find somebody you can authentically be yourself with, like that's your person, whether it's platonic, commitment wise, however it is. And I think this film kind of opened that up for people to just kind of be. And I love that about this film.
I love it. Give us your rating.
My rating for Something New, honestly, it's not as good as it hits different than Boomerang, but it's still I'll give this a 9. It's still a 9 to me because it's beautifully done, and the progression of each character is kind of amazing. So but I do have to leave though. So have a good night, you guys. Peace out. Shout out to everybody. I love you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks for being here. So I assume that Janine, you had seen this movie. We're gonna hear your trivia first, but I just want to get our order. I know I haven't. Brian, had you seen Something New?
This is one of those movies where it's like I had seen enough of it, but then we're watching it this time around essentially was like my first time watching it because there's a bunch of stuff where I was like, I don't remember this, but I remember elements of it. So I don't know if so I probably had seen it, but let's just call it the first time where I'm actually sitting down and
would probably remember it.
Yes, exactly.
Janine, let's hear what trivia you could dig up, and please tell me it's about that Bronco that he drives.
No, it's about the title. The title was originally going to be 42.4%, which I guess is the percentage like her friend gives when they're having their Valentine's dinner. And like 42.4% of like Black women who are professionals kind of struggle to find their perfect man or whatever that statistic was she gave. So I think that was going to be the original title, which is kind of dumb. So I'm glad. Yeah. And you've mentioned Alfre Woodard as the mother being very obnoxious. So Nala Lathan's character Kenya is the daughter of Alfre Woodard's character. They share the same relationship in love and basketball and the family that prays. So this is the third time that she's played her mother in a movie.
That's funny.
Interesting. She's so amazing. Brian, I went first on the last one. Unless Janine, did you mention this movie on Morgan Hasn't Seen, or is this just another one you decided was good to add?
We had done it a few years ago when we were doing a series on Black rom-coms. So
let's hear from Brian. Let's hear what you think about Something New.
Yeah, it was great. I didn't see it so much as a rom-com, at least, especially when you watch it next to Boomerang. But that one's definitely But I didn't find myself laughing as much in this one. But there were like humorous bits. Like her friends are pretty funny.
Yeah.
And you got Taraji P. Henson in there, doing her thing.
Donald Faison is her little brother as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Girl, every time the running date with him and his girlfriend. Yeah.
That was so funny.
And then he ends up with Taraji P in the end, if you didn't notice.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, but it's like it really, man. It's like I feel like it does a pretty good job. Like it's because it's one of those things too, where it's like they do a good job of it. This is the crazy balancing act, I think, with this, especially with I think his character Brian. I think that they do a good job of making him not come off like racist, you know, and he's just like he just doesn't know these things, and but it's also like a thing like I found myself too being like, oh, that's not gonna land well. Like you know what I mean? So it's like
grocery store argument.
Holy really shit. Real. Like I was like, no, dude. Like, that's like because like that was a really great scene, like that kind of shows off like how well the balancing act was, because it's like no, she's right, but like I understand like where he was coming from too, because he's like he's not trying to like he just doesn't understand because he's and like but she's totally right, because she's like, well, it was just a great example of privilege. Like he has this privilege of like, I just want to table this for tonight. It's like, she doesn't get a table.
I don't get a night off from any of it.
Like
you can write them off as just jerks, but I can read this deeper racial traumatic issue in this.
Yeah. So it was like, man, it was a really good back and forth with that when and it's very uncomfortable. And like, and there's that one dude they're waiting in line behind where he's just like,
he's just looking at them
like oh damn. Like,
that actually happens with like 7 characters in this movie. If you're watching the background characters, they're always just like because they're trying to mind their business the whole time.
But even Mike Epps constantly giving Brian shit.
Oh man, I know. And like
it was almost, I was almost like, calm down. Like, come on, man. He's just trying to be chill. He's trying to find it.
But like I get it though. Like it's like you gotta be protective, of I mean the whole joke of him being a spy, like Brian's a spy.
He's trying to steal a recipe of barbecue secrets.
And all his other secrets. I know.
He's gonna do landscaping and barbecue. Like that was the plan, right?
And then they bring in Blair Underwood, and I'm like, well, how the hell was any of us supposed to compete with that? Like,
exactly. And he's like same kind of energy as her, business guy, all that kind of thing.
Which was good, because it's like that's not what she needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I like that they give us a scene to illustrate that when like he's with her parents and like she's just not feeling the vibe at all. We see that.
Even when they're both on the couch together, like with the exact same laptops doing work, and he's like, "Isn't this great?" And she's like, "Not really,
dude." It's like sitting in a room alone, but you have a penis. Like that's the only thing.
And like their characterizations are so different too, because like that scene compared to like when he has like takeout with her, he's like laying on the floor,
super casual,
So
he had like a couple buttons undone, right? Like he was
very just chill, and brings that out in her as well, because she's very kind of stiff and all that kind of thing.
Exactly. Oh man, so stiff. But it was good to see, because it's I mean, I don't know what else is to say about it, but it was like, I just felt like it did a really good job of like touching on this, pretty sensitive kind of subject matter. So,
Well, and I think that in that way, it portrays it from both perspectives very, very well. Because as a white guy watching this white guy go through this, I'm like, tread lightly.
I know. I'm like, careful, man.
Then I'm also like, you guys are just dating, so he should be able to be honest, right? He should be able to be honest with you.
I know, and that, like the whole hair thing,
like,
Yeah, the whole hair thing, like that would be totally me. I would be totally like
genuinely
I'm
asking.
just fascinated about it. Like I want to see all the things.
Yeah.
I want to know
his
about
line
you,
about
like,
I've always wanted to see you fully naked. I really like
it's like
that he wanted to see fully stripped.
Yes, but there's a lot of insecurity with Black women in their hair and tying it to their beauty and what they look like and kind of European, standard of what beauty looks like. So there's a lot of insecurity around that factor. So if somebody is like not understanding it, you could immediately get a little bit defensive about it.
Sure.
So scenes like that just really spoke to me in ways that like not a lot of movies do. So that's always kind of a standout thing for me in this movie.
For sure. What I really well, Janine, let's hear why you picked something new and your thoughts, and then we'll get to me here last.
Yeah, I mean, I think this movie starts in Valentine's Day, so I thought that would just be kind of a perfect.
I know that's pretty good timing.
Valentine's Day, yeah, the timing would be good. But also, I just love this rom-com because I think it tackles something that not a lot of movies in general really tackle. I mean, we saw, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, but of course that was the male version. There's Jungle Fever in the '90s. That's also the male side of being Black in an interracial relationship, and '90s is also a very kind of different time for this type of thing as well. So to see a modern film tackle it from a woman's perspective, is something that just relates to me 100%. And as somebody who loves rom-coms, this was a rom-com that just spoke to me all around 100%. So I wanted to kind of throw this at you guys and kind of see what your perspective would be on something like this and how they tackled these things and, this subject matter. So that's what really interested me about sharing this film with you guys. Also, it's just a film that not a lot of people talk about. So I wanted to also kind of give it a bit of a platform and show it off because I think it is tackling some interesting things that films don't talk about. I loved their chemistry. I think the kind of, romantic aspects were really hot and I liked that.
Yeah, there was some sultriness in some scenes.
Yeah, exactly. That really interesting thing, Law was talking about kind of seeing the side of it, the conflict, because we're in modern day, interracial relationships aren't like a big kind of like political statement nowadays, really, but the fact that you see it from her side, her family, her friends being kind of critical, and her then also kind of having this critical feeling towards an interracial relationship. Like when it's a blind date and she's about to meet him, she has this embarrassment. Like I love when she meets him and he clocks her on overcompensating her Blackness. Being seen with him.
He's literally talking to every Black person she sees.
Strangers, making sure they know you're down.
Like, and she's saying things that the people, they're like, what the fuck, dude? I don't know who that is. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know you, man. Like,
exactly. So scenes like that, just like showing that, like, it's from her side of things that are making her feel really insecure about even jumping into this relationship. But when she does, it's a very kind of beneficial to her, just opening up in all different kinds of ways. So I love that aspect. As grand gestures go, I think we rarely see it coming from the women's side. So I love kind of her big grand gesture at the end and the comedy that plays into it as well with him and the ridiculous mariachi.
He had to see every eye. He felt every single eye in that room on him.
And her too.
And wearing a mariachi outfit. Like,
exactly. And the fact that it's like this big Black high society event. So there's a cultural kind of aspect.
Which I didn't know anything about that kind of thing. Like that's
so
is that you're learning like a thing that's common? I had never.
I think it's more of a Southern thing, from what I understand.
Cotillion is Southern, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So Black society kind of creating their own version of that. So, I like that. Like the moment she decides to showcase him, the moment that makes this a big gesture for her and a big kind of romantic gesture that you see in every rom-com is that it is a Black event that she's bringing him to. This is, her introduction as this, this man being with her, the man that she loves, and he looks ridiculous. So that's just this added thing of like her being so proud to be with him.
T-shirt under that, which is so bad.
I know, man.
So bad. I love it.
So I just love the comedy in that. I love the gesture in that, and seeing that it's the woman kind of doing that at something that is a culturally Black thing, which plays into what the movie's been kind of trying to talk to us about and tell us. Just so many things in this movie just tap into relatable aspects for me that I really love that you just don't see in movies. So that meant a lot to me.
Why? Why am I not seeing her brother on the list? I always forget that actor's name.
Donald Faison.
Thank you. He's so fantastic, but he played such a beautiful, like, kind of douchey brother. Obviously, basically just Eddie's character, but brought over to this film. And I just love that every time we see him, he's literally with a new girl, and he's like, "This is the one. This is the one." And then he's,
and some of them
pretending to be something he's not. He obviously works in Hollywood, but as a lawyer, not as a producer, and I love it. But I do love that even he gets a little bit of a character arc. Like by the end, he's like, "Take my whip." He's like, "Go get him.
Take my car. Go get him."
Even though it's subtle, it showed. And even Alfred Woodard's character, when she's like, "I shouldn't have said that," like it stood out to me. Like, oh shit, she's starting to get it.
And her dad, like the relationship with her dad was so sweet as well too. Like just endlessly supportive.
I know.
I'm a doctor. I'm a dad. I've seen it all. Just go do your business. And you're stalls, so but I don't. I wouldn't have gone. I would have been like, I'm going to use the men's room personally. That's just me. I didn't know what to think of this movie because I actually don't know much about Simon Baker. I've seen him, I've never seen The Mentalist or any of the other things that he's done.
Yeah, me neither.
This is my first experience with him. He does have the rugged handsomeness. He does feel almost like he has golden retriever energy, so it feels right that he has a golden retriever. I love that his truck was just whatever, like it's just a Bronco with no lid. And she was very, I don't know, she does such a good job of going from so stiff to so relaxed that it works really well. You get to see this transition. And I know the first time she sees the dog, I'm like, she's gonna cuddle with that dog by the end of this movie.
Yeah, by the end, she's like, I missed you, Max.
Right. Or Max, what are you doing here? Some of the presumptiveness of Brian's character, of Simon Baker's character, where he's like, comes to her house unannounced 3 weeks later and is like, "Are you going to let me in?" Like, that's the kind of stuff I was like, dude, you really are wildly confident sometimes, like almost too confident. But she's also
he reads her insecurity. I think he reads,
right?
I think he reads that she wants to, but like she's insecure about it, and it's the pressure of everyone else.
And he pushes her, right? Because she's very vanilla in that way. Everything to her, like he talks about her beige walls, everything is very vanilla with her. And so he basically is trying to inject some blueberry into her life, if you will. That's the way I like to put it. And he does. He literally gets color into her life. It's a good thing. And that backyard, holy shit. Damn,
I know. Beautiful.
My backyard. That'd be great. No, this is a fantastic movie. Complicated. I know it's listed as a rom-com. I think it's much more of a rom-dram in a lot of ways because the issues are very potent and important. And so I think that while there is some light moments, Mike Epps brings levity and there's some joking. Even some of the joking feels a little like rough. So
like the comedian kind of sitting at the table, and you can see Brian feels a little bit insecure when she's kind of making jokes about him.
Right.
And even Kenya feels kind of insecure too, of like, oh my gosh, I'm with this white guy. What are these other black people thinking? Yeah.
And then, of course, her whole struggle with work and having to deal with her boss being just fantastic and just going, "No, you're perfect. You did exactly what we asked you to do, which was to give us the right answer." And Matt Malloy does a really good job of playing such a soft and just nice boss.
An understanding of what this guy is doing, who's all nervous about.
No, he could see it. He clocked him when he was like, "Will you stay and do this after?" Like,
oh my God.
I guess,
so dude.
There was a character in the movie that threw me off because I had only seen this actress in one other film. Of course, it's the white girl that is her friend at work, and her name is Catherine Town, or Catherine Town or Catherine Town. Maybe I can't. My eyes are getting old. 48. Anyway, it blew me away because I was like, I know that girl, and of course, you go straight to IMDb. Where do I know her from, right? And immediately, I find out she was the girl in Evolution that played the girl going to nursing school, the one that was Orlando Jones.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I love that.
Nursing school. Like that's the only other thing I've ever seen her in ever. And then this. So I was like, whoa, that's a trip. No, this is good. This is not. I did not expect this. From the cover, I was like, ugh. It's got looks a little Lifetimey maybe, or like not Lifetimey, but. Hallmarky, but it didn't feel that way. I did think that maybe because I watched it on YouTube. I'm not sure if you guys watch it on YouTube, but the version I watched looked like the lighting was struggling in places, and it was kind of weird. But it could have just been the medium I was watching on. So
Yeah.
I have it. I own it, so I watch.
Okay, so you watch it on DVD.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is what it is. I might watch more things with him in it now because of this, just to see, because he might have some range. We'll have to see. I'd have to watch something else. I don't think I'm going to watch The Mentalist, though.
And then random cameo, I don't know. They probably may be cut scenes with him, but at the end of the wedding, you see his dad is John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what's John Ratzenberger doing there?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I was like, whoa.
I think he was supposed to be his dad because he tells a story about his dad who taught him how to love plants and all that thing.
Right.
So you see him at the end of the wedding scene, and I'm like, I guess
no lines or anything.
Yeah, he just shows up there at the wedding scene. You assume he's Brian's dad. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I could hear it.
Definitely fun.
But he doesn't have any lines, but you can hear his voice, all the
For
time.
sure. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Anything new? Something new, maybe?
Something new?
I had to do it. All right. I guess we'll give a rate.
More.
Lala said, wait, did La say a 9?
9
on this?
A 9.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian?
It's a 8.5 for me.
8.5. Okay. Janine?
It's a 10 for me just because it's so relatable. It's just something I completely relate to, and I've never seen anything relate to me in kind of my story and things that I see this character do. So it's a 10.
Well, you're in a
for the relatability factor,
right?
Exactly. So I wholly relate to all of the things she's feeling in this movie. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, I relate to it just because his name's Brian.
But Brian with an I.
He's an I.
Yeah, he is an I, Brian. You're not a landscaper, but you do landscape with a camera almost. Like you're close. You're close.
Yeah.
And I do know that you're attracted to many, many black women. So like there's some parallels here. So like this does add up.
So very relatable factor for you too.
Right. Yeah.
Good character-driven story for me. I'm going to give it an 8. I do think this is solid. This was by the end. I was like, okay, this is fun. I could see like somebody on, there's a good character arcs. I definitely think this is worth the journey and an important topic that I think anybody should at least check it out so you can try to get some empathy built into your life. Hey, look at that. That said, next week, like I said, we're going to do The Sixth Man, and then we are also going to do BAPS with Halle Berry. So we're doing a lot of Eddie. Bats. I asked La, and she was like, yeah, BAPS. I was like, oh, okay. So I guess it's one or the other, or BAPS. Yeah. But yeah, more Halle Berry, more Eddie Murphy to come. We're going to obviously be doing more Eddie Murphy. And then eventually some Nick Cage. We will get there, I promise. And then now we're floating the idea of at least a yearly Bond episode. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, this has been episode 19 of season 5 of The Real Study. We do appreciate you guys stopping by. Of course, follow us on all social media across the board. Follow Brian, follow Janine, follow myself and La, and our wonderful producer, Aina. She has got a bunch of social media herself, so please follow her. That said, we hope you guys have a great evening. See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.